Right, guys, I was ready to drop a couple of my runs on top of that still, you know, you know, but like, you know, I just wanted to, you know, give Sister Priscilla some space to kind of like, you know, so people can appreciate the ability of singing without auto-tune, something that we don't hear too much of today. Sorry, young people, it's just the truth right about now anyway, but either way, as far as I'm concerned, you know, we're about to hit a conversation, and this album would definitely have to come up because if we're talking about UK gospel, we can't exclude this. But before I start talking, I've got Yinka muted so I can just really get some 5,000 digs in before he comes in. So he's laughing there. But listen, guys, I just have to introduce this guy proper, 100%, man. The first time I've seen the effect of this guy, I saw, you know, I was producing my wife stuff before, and all of a sudden I saw this review online, and it was done, and I was like, hold on a second, how did he get this? Who is this UK? How on earth did he get UK? Anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get that, you know. But it's on this amazing platform that young people have never heard of, Moonfruits. But we'll get there and we'll break that whole thing down. But I want you guys to have an insight of both of us have hit the UK gospel from different perspectives. We were talking about UK gospel. We're gonna probably, you know, talk a bit about Yinka and its history and whatever. But I want to be chopping up about UK gospel past and present, and our theories, our debates. You want to just have an insightful conversation insight into a conversation that me and Yinka would have if I phone him up, and 5 hours later we're like this. Oh my gosh, we got kids and wife to deal with or whatever they're still, you know. So we're gonna bring in Yinka right now. I'm gonna make sure hopefully that things are gonna be working. Are you there, bro? Can I hear you clearly? Let me make sure my volumes are all.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, bro, loud and clear. Crispy clear.
Do you know what that thing you said about 5-hour conversation? So true.
Listen, bro. When the jokers, bro, yeah. When you asked me how long we got, I said, bro, let's just call it an hour. You're like, okay, yeah. You know, you got space to talk. 15 minutes. We could never do 15 minutes interview like this and talk about UK past and present and future. You know, and the highs and
that's big though.
It's big, bro, but like I think people I think we can touch the areas that nobody's touching. I think when people talk about UK past, there's times when I smile and I go, Roger, does the peace that passeth all understanding come over me? Yeah, because because I think that too often I feel that people that's in the background, bro, that made things tick, we don't have a voice. End of this, so yeah, if an artist talks about history, they talk from their perspective. Yeah, you know what I mean. You know, if a historian, it's like Jesus writing the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John himself. You know what I mean? It needed somebody else to write it out as he does his thing. You know, it's kind of like a personal journal. I'm thinking, but sometimes I think that it comes more authentic when you have people who is watching the scene and seeing a different perspective. You know, and I feel that the perspective of the artist, the perspective of the artist is the dominating voice in this scene right now. And bro, to be honest, you know, it's fake news.
That's so interesting.
It's fake, bro, because at the end of the day still, yeah, all you do, you see yourself in the mirror. But we've had to see more than ourselves in the mirror because ourselves have only been on the plot since Facebook's invention. That's the only time we've got and people knew who we looked like. Because I can't remember.
You know what? Let me tell you something.
Okay, go.
Interesting. It's so interesting you should say that because, and I told this story the other day, that my perspective has always been as an outsider's perspective.
Okay, yeah.
Because
okay, cool.
I wasn't in the UK in the 80s.
Okay, cool.
So I arrived here in 1990.
Okay.
So a lot of what I saw back then was actually from an outsider's point of view. So it's so interesting you should say that. So for me, for example, one of the things that started me off on this journey, and I tell this story all the time.
Go for it.
Is when I saw, okay, actually, just to set this in some kind of context, I'm excited about gospel music, yes? I'm looking in the UK, and all I'm seeing is a lot of UK people getting excited about American gospel. Now, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'm coming across all of these great UK gospel singles, albums, tracks.
Yeah.
And I can't see anybody making noise about it. And I'm like, what's going on? And then I set again. You mentioned Moon Fruit. I set up a Moon Fruit website. Oh my goodness, back in the day when Moon Fruit was free. Anyway, and then one of the major things for me that made me realize how powerful UK gospel could be was when I saw New Colours on TV.
Come on,
ITV Channel 3.
Yeah. Sorry, bro. The joke is, guys, I did not know this. Yeah, that you ended up saying New Colours is what really brought me into, oh my gosh, we can actually transcend into mainstream. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so I was a bit, I may have been,
and they were doing it on a level.
Bro, they had about 4 or 5 videos, bro. They had music videos before we could even think about how do you make a music video, bro. You know, and it's just like, hold on a second. They had a record deal, and the joke is, bro, you know what makes it even more interesting as well? It wasn't just a London group. It was a cosmopolitan, is a group mixed up of people from around the country. You had Birmingham and London coming together.
I did not know that.
Oh, okay. Do you know that? So you know Priscilla Jones is from Birmingham, innit? From West Midlands, Wolverhampton.
Oh, really?
Okay, yeah, she might not publicly put it out there, you know, because it might not be to her advantage. But Priscilla, we can have a chat about that anyway, yeah. And she's from Wolverhampton, mate. She's from Wolverhampton, Yarkid, you know what I mean? Oh. So she's from Wolverhampton, and you know what I mean. And Carol Riley is from round the corner, not far from the studio, man. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Really?
Yeah, man. So. You know, but
do you know what? You're schooling me because I did not know that.
You know, so you know, hence why I'm always got a chip on my shoulder when I come down to London, going, I don't like none of you. So,
well, no. Listen. Let's be real.
Go on.
Yeah. Back in the day,
go on.
And I'm gonna pick it up from the kind of late 80s, 90s.
Yeah, cool. That's cool.
Forwards, probably still to now. This is me just being honest. This is my view.
Okay, cool.
London has got the hype.
Yeah.
London and South East has got the hype.
100%, yeah.
Midlands has got the talent.
Oh, cool.
But Midlands is too humble.
Yeah.
To do what? Because London's hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just come up with something. Actually, it's probably still the same now. I was going to say back in the day.
Yeah.
It's not enough for you to just put a tune out.
Yeah.
You've got to package it. You've got to market it. You've got to promote it. You've got to be savvy about it. You've got to understand how the media works.
Yeah.
You've got to know how Roger wants something submitted to him at Affinity, or you might want to know how this other person wants it at this other radio station. London artists they're just hungrier. And what that does is it translates into the music. Yeah. So the quality and the standard is slightly higher.
Yeah.
That's it. Midlands has got the talent. That's why. Sorry, I'm just going to say this really quickly.
Go.
That's why Dave P came down to London. That's why Lindsley Campbell came down to London.
Listen, you're getting taught now, people.
Cherokee came down to London.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. These bummies, you know what I mean? Dave P. He always come in this London accent. I looked at him and said, bruv, I know a man who used to play football with you, bruv. Back in Birmingham, he's like, okay, yeah. He's like, you know what I mean? He's there going like say he's from London. But anyway, no, bro, that's 100% valid point. I think my frustrating thing with Birmingham is that not only humble, but we are so very lazy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'll put it out there. I'm saying this from being in Birmingham. I feel that we've got the talent. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But if we can cut corners to where the London guys, like I'm seeing Still Shady coming out hardcore, like he understands the persona.
Yeah. Still Shady is a really good example, actually.
I see him as a a today version of when I saw Governor B coming through, who's prepared to be professional.
I agree.
When they go to events, Governor B will come with his sound man. He'll do his thing, have his little bag, get his little £50 from the gig, do his thing, and then go to the next gig. Have manners, say hello, sir, goodbye, sir, and you know, and perform.
Have manners, you know.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, because some people don't. But still, Shady operates from what I can see from the same. And when he gets an opportunity, he takes it with all. He gets the band up there, and I feel that.
Let me tell you a story about Still Shady.
Go on.
Let me tell you a story about Still Shady. Step Forward put an event on probably about 6 years ago now. They put an event on, and it was one of these seminars. O'Neill normally puts on, at least a couple of times a year, or once every 2 years.
Yeah.
And I remember Still Shady coming up to me because I loved what he did. I didn't know him then.
Yeah.
And I loved what he did. And he came up to me and he said, you know what, you're going to be hearing more from me in future. And there was a confidence in the way that he said it. And I was like, again, I tell this story all the time. I was like, yeah. I hear so many artists saying exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
But this was probably, like I say, about 6 years ago. And I've watched the guy just go from level to level to level to level. Still Shady is the perfect model.
Yeah, 100%. But the work rate, and the thing is, guys, I don't know what would you say, Yinka, and I don't want to, before everyone thinks this is some prescribed script that we're coming up with now, yeah? But, okay, we're looking back in the past now, bro. And there's some missed... when I see Governor B, what people don't realise is at the time, we'll have conversations when Governor B is bringing out his first... EP in a little plastic sleeve from the late,
looking out the window.
Yeah, looking at from Lucas to London would be there helping distribute these guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Exactly how much people he invested into, and when you see these guys coming through, there's him, there's Jay, there's absolutely loads of them. But to see Vic Chisel, all these guys, Governor B, like a Still Shady. From someone who's doing events and being outside, you can actually see something different. The work rate, the consistency, and when he came through, it's that level of production, that one track, that one opportunity that they go through and they take it. And for me, Governor B took it with the Kingdom Skank. When that track came out, bro, Governor B was...
You know what it is?
Go on.
You know what's really funny? Let me speak to two things here.
Go on.
The first thing I'll really pick up on, remind me because I need to tell you about Governor B, but the first thing I want to pick up on is what you're saying about Birmingham artists being lazy. I don't think it's just Birmingham artists.
Okay, yeah, cool.
I think it's all... Cool. I think, number one, it's all of them.
Yeah.
But really and truly, it's not so much laziness as lack of knowledge.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Because what it is if you're an artist... and you've released music, one of the things that used to get on my nerves back in the day, still does, not so much now.
Yeah.
Because when I think about it, I think it's just because people don't really they haven't done their research. But there's an assumption that because we're all Christians, I should automatically support your work, even if it's rubbish.
Yeah. Do
you know what I mean?
I hear.
And you're not thinking, right, okay, if I go to ukgospel.com, what kind of music is ukgospel.com supporting? You know, are they supporting grime? Are they supporting praise and worship? Are they supporting spoken word? But there's just that assumption. And again, like I say, it just comes to lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And the bit where I think artists may be lazy, but the industry also has to take some blame, is that a lot of our industry bodies don't actively seek the talent to train them. GMIA is a really good example of this.
Yeah.
If you're an artist, the one thing you should know as an artist is the existence of GMIA.
Yeah.
Now, if we did a poll of artists in the UK right now, I'm not sure how many of them know GMIA is there and how many know what GMIA is set up to do.
Yeah.
So there's two parts to this education thing. Part one is that our industry bodies need to support our artists, and part two is our artists need to educate themselves. I think one can't go without the other.
Okay,
That's
cool.
that really quickly on that.
Yeah.
Secondly, Governor B, his first big breakout single was "Look Out the Window," produced by Vic Tizzle.
By Vic Tizzle. Oh, I thought it was a tune. I thought the bigger tune was Kingdom Skank. But anyway, so that's me.
No, Kingdom Skank was the one that really broke it to lots of people.
Well, looking at Window was big.
Here's the killer.
Go on.
Here's the killer, Roger.
Go on.
Governor B had put out something like 20 or 30 singles. 20 or 30, the guy said, before Looking Out the Window broke. And he just kept going.
That's perseverance. Perseverance.
And a lot of people don't realize how hard this thing can be. You need to have the conviction of your ministry that, you know what, I'm called to do this.
Yeah.
I don't care if nobody plays my song. I don't care if it doesn't get a play on Spotify.
Yeah.
This is what I'm called to do, and I'm going to keep going.
Okay, so do you feel that No, that's 100. I hear you, because the thing is, from a different perspective, from a non-artist perspective, we go through dark days when we're like this, going, God, is this man? I got one view on my video. You put out a blog video, you do, yeah, and you go, God, is this really? So I get the dark moments. Now, are you saying that there's? I'll go a little bit more diggy with this in terms of like digging out certain.
Dig away.
You know what I'm saying?
Dig away. I've got answers for you. Dig away, man.
Because I feel that the church has given us an entitlement mentality because we're Christians.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Spirituality means, right, I'm a Christian now. God has got this for me. He owns the earth. I'm going to go forth and I will be a Kurt Franklin. Yeah. So I'm not saying the church is saying this specifically. Yeah. But there's it's amazing to me. We have an expectation, God can make you this big. We have this big perspective because we got a big God. You got the connections are big, but we don't see the hard work.
But the thing is, it comes back to this education thing. Church is not where you're going to get the education about what the music industry is like. Do you know what I mean?
100%. But this is the balance, though. Yeah. No, 100%. There's an industry mentality to it. But I always say to people, it's like the American army going into Vietnam. They went in there with M1 rifles, the newest rifle out there, bling, educated up how to do warfare. But they went in there and got beaten by people using World War II, you know what I'm saying, AK-47s against them, and using Rambo-style techniques to mess them up, and they couldn't win the war. And sometimes...
because they understood strategy.
This is what strategy in the gospel world. When we go out there in ministry, do we as young artists strategize ourselves going into the scene like anything else? If you're going to buy a shop and to sell cakes, you would do some sort of research. But why don't we do this when it comes to artistry in gospel? Why didn't we set up relationships with?
Do you know what? I'm not here to play the blame game.
Okay, cool.
If I'm going to blame anybody, I'm actually going to blame our industry, and I'm going to blame our elders.
Elders. I was used the word elders
because don't forget, okay, the UK gospel industry is made up of something like 95% independent artists.
100%. Yeah.
So these artists have got to be their own producers, their own songwriters, their own marketing person, their own hype person, their own radio plugger. Yeah. There's only so much you can learn as an artist when really and truly all you want to do is sing.
Yeah.
Which is why I keep bringing it back to the fact that we need the people who've gone before us to maybe share a bit of that knowledge, but really and truly, it's an industry body thing for my money.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if I'm an artist, all I want to do is practice my art.
Right, I'm going to pick you
I can barely do that.
Yeah. Go.
Also try and share that knowledge with anybody else coming behind me. Because there's nowhere for this knowledge to be freely available. So most people are going forwards, trying something, they try it 10 times, one works, and they develop on the one.
Cool.
Everybody's having to do that because there's nowhere for us to go to learn.
Right. Here the thing is, and this is why I love, I was sitting down the other day, when you think of analogies of what has gone wrong, and 100%, because I was coming through as a young child, second generation Afro-Caribbean, in the Afro-Caribbean community in Birmingham, looking at rich talents way ahead of me as a young kid. Absolutely, people getting Sony deals and all these things, all these guys, as I'm seeing talent beyond talent ahead of me.
I think I know where you're going with this.
And then when I get there, every door was blocked. But the joke is, the analogy that I thought, I said, I always laugh and have jokes and says, yeah, man, I'm like the Will Smith of the station. I bring some fresh tunes to it. And I have a joke with the guys about it, yeah? Because I bring the freshest tracks out there at Affinity Xtra, and if I had a high top, it'd come like Will Smith. But anyway, I feel that with Will Smith, he got given an opportunity by an experienced head, Quincy Jones, yeah, who infiltrated the system. And he thought, you know what, I'm going to bring this in a scene which doesn't really accept black culture. Bro.
Listen,
where is the doors?
I'm just interrupt you here.
Yeah, go.
You're making my point. Where are the Quincy Joneses?
And there, bro, we have got Quincy Joneses being big, massive projects.
Where are the UK gospel Quincy Joneses? Where are the people whose job it is to basically just look for the talent, show the talent the ropes, and say, right, guys, here's how to do it. This is what the people at Affinity Xtra like.
Yeah.
This is what the people at TBN UK like. This is what the people at Gospel Hydration like.
Yeah.
This is what the people at Premier Gospel like.
Yeah.
You know, where are those people? You know, a lot of people have come. See, the thing is complex and it's simple. we need promoters.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Roger, you've been a promoter. You know how hard it is.
Yeah. Bro, it nerves are
where
still.
are all of these people? Because we need each one of these elements to keep this industry going.
But
we place too much pressure on our artists, I think. So they don't know what's right and they don't know what's wrong because they have to spend half their time learning that stuff as well as being artists.
100 no, on it. So I would say, I hear you in that one. Now, for me now, promoters is died off within the rise of the churches bringing in and paying stupid money to the Americans. Yeah. And I remember, you know, and I'll be straight with people. I said, yo, when you're seeing $40,000 being charged to come over to sing on one day, when you're seeing $80,000, bro, it gets to a stage where you have to say, as a promoter, this is uneconomical. Yeah. But then when you got churches that go on the whim and pay that, and people going, oh my gosh, Roger, you can't say that.
Why do you think that is, Roger?
I think that the Americans are very good salespeople. I think they're amazing salespeople because I know they can't charge that in America half the time. You know what I'm saying? And they go where the money is. Yeah. And if they don't go,
you know what's missing? I don't disagree with you, but you know what's missing from your argument?
Go on.
And this is something that we keep shying away from in the UK gospel. We don't have those songs.
In the UK.
At the end of the day, people respond to songs. Yeah?
Go on. Yeah.
We need to have millions, well, not millions, but we need to have loads of power praises. We need to have loads of Muiwan River songs. We need to have loads of called out music, loads of Governor Bees. You know, we need those people who've got amazing songs in whatever genre they're in. And if we you can start to actually, I would argue almost on this same point, that you can now put a concert on with Governor B, with called out music, with Sarah Table, and charge good money and people would turn up because these guys have got good music.
Let's go to the past then. Let's go back to the past. Let's go back to the 90s, bro. When you was rocking your afro and and I was a little lad at uni. But no, we go back to the 90s now. Yeah, we had from a Birmingham perspective. Yeah. We had likes of there was loads of bands going on. Remission. You had LCGC doing their thing.
I love. Oh my goodness, Remission.
And the music that they put out at that time. Now, is it a case of before the rise of Hillsong? This is before the rise of Hillsong. Noel Robinson, Remission. You had other albums coming out in the Midlands. You also had things coming out in London. People really making releases, and I thought did decent releases, But Hillsong came along, and brought out a bag of hits that distracted us, from our own music, and it distracted us because you know what? When you went into, let's be real, we walked into bookstores back then. To get our music, we walked into bookstores. So the bookstores sold what the labels told them to sell and how to sell it. Now, if you put Remission, invested the money into Remission album as much as they invested into a Hillsong situation,
no argument
so
for me.
My thing is this: the Christian, the misdistribution of wealth in music and investment, because they went with Australian sound. You know what I mean? An Australian artist at the time. It was also an Australian artist, small church coming through.
You're missing a point.
Go on.
You're missing a very, very, very important point here. And you kind of made it when you were talking about the Americans.
Cool.
The Americans and the Australians, speaking specifically about Hillsong, they've got great marketing.
Yes.
A lot of the music we had back in the 90s, and don't forget, it's not like now where I can fire up my Spotify and load up a tune. it was difficult back in the day to get really good music.
Yeah, it was.
One of the reasons I was excited about you doing ukgospel.com back in the day was because I would pick up a CD and it would be remission.
Yeah.
I'd play these CDs and they would have incredible, world-class praise and worship music.
Come on now.
That will still stand up today.
Come on. Yeah.
But nobody had heard of them.
Yeah.
That's what the Americans did. There was distribution, there was marketing, there was labels, there was money behind it. And like you're saying, they were selling these songs and people were turning on their radios. And do you remember Premier Magazine? That used to be based in Milton Keynes back in the day.
Premier,
you know? You'd open up your direct mail magazine and all of these, CDs will be there.
Yeah.
And if that magazine had 200 albums on there, probably 5 were from the UK.
Yeah.
And I go back to my point. It's because 99% of those artists are independent. Yeah. They've got no idea about marketing. They've got no idea about promotions.
Come on.
And the little money they have to put into their project. Who do you blame for that? Sorry, it's getting me excited, man. Who do you blame for that?
Okay, so I always said, and I won't use my good analogy for this because I'm on the radio, but I would say the analogy is that basically when you look into certain music worlds, bro, their initial investors are the people that benefit it primarily, and I think the most beneficial party is the kingdom, the Christian kingdom, for the success of Christian music.
I disagree. I disagree completely. Go on though. I'll wait for you to make your point.
I don't believe I'm not putting it all on the shoulders, but I do feel that I believe that there is a responsibility. There's artist responsibility, because I know of artists who do what we call in secular music, and they invest thousands into themselves and to do it properly. And I feel like we don't take that risk. We want to do everything for cheap, but also for me, I believe that the support frameworks within our churches financially could be a lot better. That could suit that theme. That's my personal. So what?
Roger. Sorry, I'm going to stop you here.
Okay, go for it. The benefit I have from my skills.
Disagree.
Okay.
I don't disagree.
Okay.
But anybody who leads a church, will tell you that their first order of business, is not to support the music industry. Because think about it this way. Think about Bishop John Francis, okay? Who was an artist. So he understands music. When he set up Ruach, you would have thought that naturally Ruach would be in the mix of the UK gospel music industry framework, trying to promote UK gospel music.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
But they haven't done it.
Yeah.
And I don't personally, I don't believe it's not because he doesn't want to do it, because he's been down the journey. He knows how hard it is.
He knows,
It's just that it's difficult for you to maintain a church and do this thing that you and I are describing well. It's difficult. So we have to look for different ways of doing the same thing. I do believe that church has
a part to play.
They've got a responsibility. But I think we in the industry haven't really given the church a compelling argument.
100%.
If you could do this thing, this is how it benefits your industry. One of the examples I used to give is this. I'd just say, look, you're a big church. If I take, again, I know London fairly well, even though I don't live in London. But if you take about southeast London, Woolwich, we've got New Wine there. If we say to New Wine, look, you guys have got a great venue. We just need your venue 2 or 3 times a year to host gospel concerts. That's all we need. How much do you charge? Can you give us some kind of discount? And then we go around the country like that. We just find, to start with, you don't need any
correct.
3 or 4 churches all over the country. And just say, right, in January we're going to go to Ruach. In February we're going to go to New Wine. In March we're going to go to a big church in Birmingham. In April we're going to go to a big church in Manchester. You see what I mean? And we can start that way, and all of a sudden, over the course of 1 year, you've got a UK gospel circuit with venues. And then we can start to have conversations with people who are promoters to say, look, Roger, you're based in the Midlands. who can we hook up in the Midlands with?
Yeah. Cool.
See, we're not being intelligent enough about presenting solutions. If we go to churches like that and promoters like that, and we kind of band together, we go to radio stations for promo, we go to websites for PR, we go to PR companies for PR, we can start to do it. And this is what I mean, that we're not being clever enough in coming up with solutions that work for everybody. What we're saying is, you're a church, you're a ministry, it's your responsibility. And you're not going to blame any pastor that's going to turn around and go, I ain't doing that.
No, 100%. I feel you on that. And I think that for me, from what you say, for me, I said to somebody the other day, I says, listen, we are, as artists, I think there's a lot of things that are artist driven, bro, which shouldn't be artist driven. Yeah,
exactly. 100%.
You know what I mean? And I feel that, somebody had an illustration. An artist had a situation where they was going to do gigs abroad in Europe somewhere, and one year they can't go in it. When you go there every year and you sing the same song, yeah, and they go there whatever year they go to sing the same song, they do that. And then one year they said, we can't go back, and then the opportunity's gone. But if it was part of a management company that broke the deal and was part of that, they would say, artist that's brought out something fresh, you go over there, and then you develop a sound, and gospel music in the UK develops, because then you have a 20-year experience of UK gospel in that country in Europe. But because artists, you see these on Instagram, you're in Italy, you're in Portugal, you're in Greece, there's no cohesiveness in the approach of develop, and artists are still doing
what do you mean?
There's no bigger picture plan. Yeah. Now the bigger picture plan would be wiser if we, if for example, the contacts, because I'm coming from a scene where when I came in the scene, everyone's cloak and dagger. Everyone's like this, I'm not telling you my secrets. They walk through doors, shut the door behind them. Yeah. We have achieved amazing things. People from the gospel community in the world, you know what I'm saying, we have been part of productions in and outside of of gospel music, which is to another level. We've been part of bands that people wouldn't even realize. Simply Red, the MD.
You know what it is though, Roger? It's exactly like you say. A lot of these things should not be artist driven.
Yes,
and they are.
Yeah.
So I hear this thing about people being cloak and dagger. I hear this thing about people shutting the door behind them.
Yeah.
I've got no doubt that exists.
Yeah.
But again, I say to you, my counter to that argument is that if I'm an artist, that's the first thing I want to be.
Look after my business.
If I've been grinding for years and I managed to get one or two hits that people are responding to, my priority is to make sure I can continue on that trajectory.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
So it's not so much that I'm shutting the door behind me, but I'm looking for, how can I make it go to the next level? How can I do the next thing?
Yeah.
And, all of a sudden, people want me on TV, and people want me on radio, and people want me abroad.
Yeah.
So I've got to respond to that first. So I haven't got the time, not that I don't want to, but most times I haven't got the time to look back to support people.
Yeah.
Which is why I say to you that one of the big failings of our industry is we need an industry body that's separate from all of that.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Whose business it is to say, okay, right, call that music. How did you work your magic?
Yes.
Governor B, how did you work your magic? Sarah Table, how did you work your manage? Sarah Table is a really good example. She's one of those artists who's frequently giving back. But she's married with kids, at some stage, and I'm not saying that because she's a woman, because even men, at some stage, music sees this to be a priority for you, because you got to go and take care of your life. Now, at that stage, if we'd had some way of tapping into that knowledge, tapping into that expertise, so that knowledge doesn't fade with the artist, we can feed that back into the industry. But as long as we keep looking at artists, we're looking at managers, we're looking at the church, we're looking in all of these wrong places, we're not going to go anywhere, mate.
And this is the pressure on GMIA. And by the way, people, I am part of the GMIA now. So Yinka's this is Yinka's way of going, come on, Raja, I want you to deliver now. Yeah. But it's a new move and a new wave. And I think GMIA in its conception 10 years ago, I think it really wanted to be that. But I think this next stage is a stage where, when something's been put forward to people, people are, it's okay, it makes sense. But you know, when the industry now asks for it, and I think the industry now literally had to sit down and go, you know what, 2 years ago, I think it's almost 2 years ago now, isn't it? It's 2 years ago now.
Yeah, 2019.
29. We turned around and said, listen, we need to change now. This has to change. We've been saying it so often. And I think that is from, you know what, bro? There's a generation that have done amazing things and sat down and looked back at their life, and the legacy is not there. Yeah? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And they are now, and I'll tell them to their face, I says, I appreciate it, and I'll note down your legacy. But the reality show is that I have to build my legacy from now. My legacy, I setting up from 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Not only in my children, but for my children's children. So if your mindset is about today or tomorrow, you're going to be stuck. You'll be begging about, oh, where's my statue? But the mindset's changing,
I agree
though.
with everything you said until now.
Okay.
Because I think that mentality is what we need to challenge that. Because if we can, I have this concept, and it's not new because everybody does it. I just describe it in this way. I call it the compelling product.
Okay. Yeah.
If you can create a compelling product, and Affinity Xtra, perfect example of a compelling product.
Appreciate
Brand new radio station. If you check it out now, you can see how brilliant it is.
Yeah.
You don't need anybody to sell that to you, because you can look at it and you can see the excellence. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I hear.
A lot of what we do in UK gospel doesn't hit that standard, which is why we struggle. If I invite you to do something on my platform, and you look at the platform and the platform isn't compelling, now you probably won't say it to my face, but you're not excited to work with me because you're looking at what's happening. You know, when you said to me, Yinka, I want you to come on Affinity Xtra, that got me excited because I'm on a major UK gospel radio station. We don't have enough of those platforms.
Yes.
And you know, for radio Affinity Xtra, we're talking TV. Why is it? Here's a hard question.
Go on.
Why is it that one of the biggest TV stations right now in the UK is TBN, an American station? They have a compelling product.
Yeah. And to be honest, I do feel, and I don't know about yourself, and TBN I love, but no, actually, I'm not a fan of TV. To be honest, bro, I'm a fan of on demand. I'm a demand guy, yeah. So technology, so the reason why I probably didn't jump.
Yeah, but who owns the on-demand space? That's a UK organisation.
Yeah, wow. TV wise, for me, there's not much UK based.
This is my point,
because this don't look good.
If you and I then sit here and we start to think, okay, who?
Yeah.
I'm sure within about 2 or 3 minutes between the two of us, we will start to list some of these platforms.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I can think of Gospel Hydration as an example.
100%. Yeah, even though it's on YouTube.
I can think of Blessed. Okay, so what we need is more of those, more Affinity Extras, more Gospel Hydrations, more Premier Gospels. More UCBs,
100%.
You know, the GMIA coming on stream as it. Listen, well done to you guys for Town Hall, by the way. When's Town Hall 2?
Okay, Town Hall 2, I believe it's in about 2 months' time, but take that up with Lady T anyway, so sorry, Lady T, I'll get you in trouble now.
All of these things are starting to line up now.
Yeah.
So the challenge is, how do we pull all of that together so you and I, on February the 18th, 2022, are not still having this conversation that we've been having for 20 years?
How do we do it? You know what, Yinka, I think that this season right now is absolutely forcing the best out of this conversation. We have never been able to pause.
I agree.
Yeah, and that's why, guys, as much as it pains me being stuck in this situation of you can't get out, you can't do gigs, it's a very stuck situation, but it's also is a situation where I am absolutely loving, because what's coming to the fore and is the fact that basically, you know, and I gave this illustration the other day to my colleagues. It's like the gospel industry has been hemorrhaging because we've got quality blood, but no veins. No, bro, the veins.
That's interesting.
So it's just like now.
What do you mean, though? What do you mean?
It's great having amazing artists, yeah. But if we've got no chunk, if we've got no way of sending, move them around in terms of the sphere of gigs, raising their profile to the stage of getting them to the public via digital platforms. But now it's time for us now to actually dig our trenches, to dig in our foundations, you know what I'm saying, in making sure that the roots and paths, the communications between, I'm a guy like this. I don't see why I can't talk to other media platforms. We've talked over the past 2 decades and felt no way about it, and we could talk. But we know people are very precious.
See, this is where. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go for it.
This is where we don't tap into our power as Christians.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, man.
Because if we were in the mainstream, you and I would be competitors.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
We share plans all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when you were planning Affinity. Yeah. You'd call me up, say, "This is what's going on." You know, we don't do enough of that as Christians. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And I think there's a space for competition, because when I look at what you do with Affinity Xtra, and I look at what O'Neill is doing with A Step Forward, and I'm coming with ukgospel.com, and I'm looking at what Derek is doing with Gospel Hydration.
Yes.
I'm like, whoa, I've got to step up my game. But at the same time, we're all having conversations, and we can start to improve the industry. So, you know, you can send me something and say, "Oh, I'm really excited about this thing, this artist in Birmingham," and I can go, "Wow, I'd never heard of that artist," and I can stick that on ukgospel.com, or I can do a funny video on Instagram or whatever. For me, that's where we need to go. That's the weakness we have, is we're not exploiting the power of community in gospel.
Yeah.
We run out of time, man.
We do it, but don't worry, bro. We got a bit more time, man. We give us. We're gonna hit at 10 more minutes, because okay, we're talking about past.
Yeah, go for it.
We're talking about past, and we're talking about future. Yeah. Now the future, we briefly touched in terms of what we kind of need. You know what I mean? In the past, you know, we've still seen talented artists like SO. Governor B. People have to realize that these guys are, you know, are amazing, talented people that are still doing amazing, good jobs. Faith Childs, Triple O's are still doing the work a decade in and decade plus in. We go back a bit further to New Colours and LCGC and some of the bands that were going around hard in the 90s. Noel Robinson himself, as much as people see him today, he was going in hard in the 90s as well. So there's been some great artists, you know, that's inspired me, like yourself, New Joy, and different things like Remission and so on. Now,
oh my goodness, New Joy, you know?
You know what I'm saying? So,
how about New Life?
What's not New Joy? New Life. What's a New Joy for? So there's so many news. Why do we have New Colours? At the time, we had New Colours, New Joy, New Life. Anyways, you know, F's and Sinai and all these guys now. Going future.
So here's a question for you then. Seeing as we've run out of time, but I need to ask you this.
Go on.
Because you're slightly more ahead of the curve than I am.
Go on.
What's the future?
Okay. I like we go straight to the point. Future is bright. The reason why I say the future is bright, and I say it from a perspective of.
Do you know what? I thought you said the future is white.
No. No, your future is definitely opposite, man. It's gospel music of black origin. Straight. No, I think they're 100% bright, bro. Because I'll tell you why, bro. There's been I think there's been a bit of underlying divisiveness in terms of how in terms of how we've operated, and I think culturally as well as community-wise, I think we're uniting in a way that I've never seen before.
I'm not sure I agree.
Okay, but I feel that
I haven't even got time to go into. I'm not sure I agree.
Okay, cool. So I believe that, you know what, there's a togetherness which is not going to happen overnight. Yeah, but there's a shift and change. Even I see the mindset in I'll talk to Lady T and Anu about the balance of the GMIA board now in terms of culturally, in terms of male and female. I think that gives a more broader mentality towards how
that's a really good point, actually.
How it's going to be
really
delivered.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? So it's great having people. It was very Afro-Caribbean gospel, traditional American sound centric before, which is great. But we need people who got multi skills in the broad sound of UK gospel. The broad sound. It's a broad sound. It's not a particular sound. It's a broad sound. It's got a lot of contributors to it, and I believe that this is a season of us coming together.
This whole argument about what's the sound of UK gospel, I find it very annoying.
Okay, I totally agree with you. But what if I said to you now, what's the sound of the UK? What would you say?
Personally, I don't care. Oh. It's the short answer. I don't care. Because I think you can't shoehorn UK gospel. You can't put the sound 100%. Of UK gospel 100%. In one shoebox. If I can put it that way.
No way.
Because right now, the sound of UK gospel. How are you measuring this? For goodness' sake, are you measuring it by output? In which case, the sound of UK gospel is definitely the sound of the street, because the drill guys are doing, 5 releases a week. Hip hop's there, Afrobeats is there. So right now, if you're looking at it from a release volume perspective, the sound of UK gospel is the sound of the streets. Okay, but that's not really what we're saying. I think what we need to do is, and I think you've mentioned it, we need to own the fact that we can't have a UK equivalent of American gospel. Which is what I think people mean when that's slightly what they're saying when they want to define the sound of UK gospel. Because our influences are international. We've fused in Afrobeats, we've fused in garage, we've fused in grime. We've still got the classic choral sound of American gospel. And then put all of that together, and then we come out with this thing. Which at some stage is spoken word, at some stage is rock, at some stage is drill, at some stage is choir sound, at some stage is spoken word or whatever. It really gets on my nerves.
No,
because
I agree, but bounce off on this. No. I can see the passion in this, and I totally agree, because I do believe doing the radio has even shocked me. Before I thought I knew, I do live show and I do my little hip hop and I rap and I focus and whatever, like an R&B feel. But the release, the style of music and releases from the UK, it's so broad, it's ridiculous, And I am not going to turn around to say that it is wrong for a second generation African descendant to do Afrobeat. And say it's not UK sound. You know what I'm saying? They're representing their culture, but the sound's twisted. I felt, from me, when I did drum and bass and garage, it was a second generation sound from the Afro-Caribbean, and you can hear the influences in our delivery. But it's us UK. We didn't want to do reggae. We didn't want to do choirs. You know what I'm saying?
See, Roger,
we wanted to do us.
That right there, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but right there is the danger. That's the risk we run if we're so obsessive about trying to define what the UK gospel sound is. I understand the need for it, and I think there is a need for it, but I don't think it's one of those things that we should completely obsess about identifying, because it's going to change. If you think about the sound of Colours of LCGC is a really good example. Colours of LCGC was a spin-off of London Community Gospel Choir.
Come on now.
London Community Gospel Choir did a classic choral sound that actually sounded more European than it did American. And then Colours of LCGC had a bit more of an R&B soul sound. And then off of the back of that came out New Colours. So there's 3 generations of sound there.
Wow. No, 100%. No.
So which one is the sound of UK gospel?
And you're totally right. The energy that in your meetings, and you got them elders, bro, and they turn around and says, "Oh, it's the definition is here in the word." You know what I mean? Thinking, guys, get over yourself. The reality show is, for me, sometimes, Yinka, gospel has been used as a way to fence us in as well. To say to us that, okay, it's easy, because I find
I don't mind that.
But
I don't mind that.
No. But hear me out though. In terms of fencing in, I did a little research. I went onto the American billboards. You just do your random stuff from billboards, And this is what got my passion for calling it gospel music of black origin. With Affinity Xtra. Because ended it, we've originated a lot of sounds in the world and what we see today. But I looked at the billboard. The billboard had a gospel billboard and a Christian music billboard. And I thought, hold on. So basically, gospel was a sneaky way of saying black. What you know what I'm saying? But when you heard the top artists that were charting, top top in the Christian music scene in America. They were white, but the sound was black.
Yeah.
So I'm going, hold on a second. Is this your sneaky way of saying, okay, we're going to invest in her? It sounds black, you know what I mean? Whatever. So we're going to ignore that, but because she looks the part. And I feel that sometimes it's a very easy way to encircle us. And for me, the challenge is this, bro, is that our counterparts in the non-Christian music scene
What do you mean non-Christian?
Like Stormzy's and all the world. You know what I mean? Basically, non-gospel music.
Yeah.
And when I say music of black origin is the entertaining part of the world. You know what I mean? It was doing well in terms of numbers, in terms of spectrum. It could be 60 if you look at the selling charts and what you see there. Hip hop is not hip hop, but rap itself is a massive part of the market. Whether you're white, black, or whoever listens to the music is a massive part. But when it comes to Christian music, it's the polar opposite. And the kids want...
What's the point you're making?
The kids want our sound. So for me, we're going to look at this word gospel and have to say, you know what? Do we really want it? Because it is like saying urban. You see how they got rid of the word urban? Yeah? Because they're fed up of...
So what's your point? I've got 15 million answers to this, but I just need to know what your point is.
The point is, do we get rid of just saying the word gospel and just say, yo, Christian music?
That's a difficult one
because
I think
gospel's a load of sounds.
You will get as many different answers as people you ask, because the whole framing of this argument, is around the mainstream music industry, which is around numbers, which is around sales, which is around shifting units. Yes.
Yeah.
So if that's where you're coming from, then whatever genre shifts the most units, is going to be dominant. So if the main markets can't bear my black face singing gospel music, but they can find somebody as talented as I am, who's white, to sing that same music, the industry's always going to go with that person, because that person can shift more units. That's a fact of life. Yeah?
Boy, but that fact not nice. Yeah.
My answer is this.
Go on.
That as we go, if you think about COVID's a really good example. Now, the entire planet is aligned to think as one. Yeah? Because we all have to isolate. It's not like if you say to somebody, quarantine in any country in the world right now, they understand what you mean. That's a way. It's a way of the world coming into one language and one mindset like it's never done before. So, if you equate that to what's happening in music, that common language, that common, the pop sound, that, what you're talking about here is appropriation, really. That, the black sound's been appropriated for the mainstream, if that's what you mean. That's always going to be the case. And gospel music is always going to be very, very low on that scale. But, and here's my point, increasingly, as the world starts to suffer and starts to look for hope, a lot of those messages will start to become more relevant. Now, whether that's in the classic choir sound that we think about when we say gospel music, or the more contemporary sound like Governor B will do with Cast Your Cares, with Kingdom Choir, or whether it's something that's really street, like Canola, people are going to be looking for that more and more and more. And that's why I always think we really have to be careful about what we're aligning ourselves to, because everything you said there so far, I agree with 100%.
Go on. Yeah.
But the overriding thing is how do we continue to make sure that we're almost kind of like hiding in a corner for that time when the world is going to be asking, where is this hope?
We have to go on, bro. See, you know what I'm saying? You have to stand up strong. It's stand strong. And we're the best.
Bring me back for another one.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, guys, I knew this would be like a 15-part series, and this is the warm-up session with the stretch out, and this is the conference before the main fight.
Exactly.
But bro, just to close off in, just in terms of UKgospel.com, what we're looking at, man. What you up to, bro? Because I know you pretend like you retired, but you haven't retired, mate. Yeah.
Well, let me put it this way. Let's end like we started. You mentioned the fact that the original UKgospel.com was on Moonfruit.
Moonfruits, yep.
And if anybody who's a techie, they will know that Steve Jobs killed off Flash about 6 years ago.
Amen.
So that then meant that all of the sites that were running Flash back then basically had to adapt or die.
Yeah.
So I've spent the past 3 or 4 years transferring a lot of that content from Moonfruit onto a brand new site, which actually is not brand new site, but what used to be. Do you remember when blogs were really popular?
Yeah.
So back then I had UKgospel.com, which was the main news site, and then I had UK Gospel WordPress version, which was the blog site.
Yeah,
so all I've done is promote the blog site.
Yes, got you.
To be the main site. Because that's
good.
Now
that's good.
It's responsive. You can view it on your tablet, your desktop, your mobile. So if you, and this is a sneaky thing, I don't think I've actually said this publicly yet.
Go on.
But if you go to ukgospel.wordpress.com, you will actually see the brand new version of ukgospel.com, which is there now. I've been working on it for the past 2 or 3 months. Actually, 2 or 3 months now. Brilliant. And the actual domain name, ukgospel.com, will be live probably in about, fairly soon. Let me not give it away.
God's willing, by Easter, guys, we're going hard. And Yinka, I'm gonna be talking to you about some projects. And me and Yinka, we have giggles. I will do a music shop. I'll have a music shop which has American and UK. He has the UK only shop. So we
oh my goodness, yes.
So I had what was it, DI shop, and you had UK gospel only, and I was like,
I had UKG shop,
UKG shop, and something going forward, bro. There's some initiatives that we want to push in UK and for UK music, and we'll be having conversation in the future in terms of how Affinity Xtra, and I think this sort of level of conversation, guys, I really want to make it very public, because we have to realize that now me and Yinka's more like the elders of the system. I think we need to set a good precedence for the youngers coming through, bro. But
look at all my grey hair, man.
Look at all my sorry, I got no grey hairs. But anyway,
this was jet black when I started.
Trust me, bro. I got 2 wrinkles coming through now, but I just want for the youngers, to see that, you know what, we can be pals and be affluent in our ministries. We might disagree, agree, but we're smiling afterwards, and we're still going to be an integral part of what's to come. And we're here to pass on our knowledge. And we will
still pull in the same direction. And let me end with this, actually, because one of the things that gets me excited about the UK gospel scene, it always has in the 20 odd years I've been doing it.
For 20 years.
This is an industry that is driven by young people. It always has been.
Amen.
The young spectrum of UK gospel music has always been the most dynamic.
Yes.
And it's never been as exciting as it is now.
Come on.
So if you're a young UK gospel artist watching this right now, well done. Keep going. Like Roger says, he and I have got lots of little plans that we'll be sharing more of in the future.
Big plans, man. Big plans. Listen, bro. Enough love, enough appreciate, and we'll do part 2 soon. Don't worry, guys, man. I'm gonna hopefully we're gonna have some wise words from Yinka anyway. So somehow we're gonna do this anyway. But listen, bro. Enough love, and thanks again for your time, man. You know what I mean? Thanks for not going.
Thank you.
Listen,
I appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me, man. It's been really good fun,
bro. It's blessed, man. Everyone's going to Asda this time and doing their Saturday shopping, and bro, just to dedicate your time, just to talk to us. I appreciate that, brother, man. Yeah. But listen, bro.
No worries.
Enough love.
Take care.
And thanks again, man. Yeah. Bless you, man. Yeah. Bless you, brother. Yeah, guys. I hope you enjoyed that conversation there that I had with the main man, Yinka. Let me just press stop on my recording. Brilliant also. Wow. Oh my God. I feel like we just started talking there, and now we're at the end. And that was clean an hour. what can I say, man? I just need to just play one more track from Priscilla Jones, and then I'll get to playing some great music. Hopefully you enjoyed this conversation. Do guys, if you're on YouTube watching this back, do subscribe, do link and like the video, hopefully, because we want to be putting out information, conversations like this, so the industry can see our heart and our mindset towards going forward anyway. So thanks again for listening in, everyone. And I really appreciate, God's willing, us moving forward in the UK industry. 100%. I'm excited about the future. I think this season is absolutely fantastic. Where we at and what we're going to be doing in the UK, because I really do believe that big things are going to be happening. We're having time to change things, to set things up, to dig our foundation in, and I believe the relationships that I've had for 20 years with the likes of Yinka and different people, I believe it will be kicking in now, and we'll be blessed by it, because we've developed ourselves as individuals now to deliver at a fantastic time. So on that note, I'll be playing from my favorite album of all time, and that's Priscilla Jones from Wolverhampton Arcade. I probably said that totally wrong, but sorry guys. Watch this. It's called Better Days. Hopefully you enjoy the vibe anyway still.
Better days here again, better now more than then, but I'm still wanting more. And I've been around the globe, and I've got lots